I think it shows a little bit more flexibility. He has the freedom to go and roam, and the way that they defend, it takes some of that burden of responsibility off him to have to track back when he's in a wider position. So I think it gives him a lot upside going forward, and then defensively, I think they're sound enough to allow him that freedom.
Yeah, happy player, happy results, happy team when it's your star, Neymar. You want to give him more responsibility in the center of the park, and he can handle it? Have at it. Brazil, third-ranked team in the nation. It's a rematch of the Copa America final 2 years ago. Brazil taking care of Peru. This is a Group B game. Brazil right now sitting in second place in their group. Colombia's 0-0 result earlier today with Venezuela. So Peru with one more point over Brazil. Brazil, though, looking forward to jumping back atop their group. The national anthems right now, both Peru and Brazil.
Senhores, o himno nacional do Peru. Damas y caballeros, el himno nacional de Perú. Damas y caballeros, el himno nacional de Brasil.
Brazil with a 7-match unbeaten run in Copa play. Their last Copa loss came against Peru in 2016. Those two in Rio next.
You thought BMW was the ultimate driving machine, but it's also the ultimate family machine. The ultimate innovation and electric driving machine. Because it is and always will be the ultimate, can't be contained to just one thing, machine.
Hi, Verizon launched the first 5G network, and now we want to be the first to give everyone the joy of 5G by giving every customer a new 5G phone on us. Old customers, new customers, families, businesses, in-laws, law firms. Every customer, new 5G phones when you trade in your old ones. And if you're not a customer, we'll help cover the cost to switch. Just ask Wanda. She's been with us since now. Upgrade your phone, upgrade your network.
That's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, you're shot down in May. And if I didn't think it was worth one try, I'd jump right on a big bird, and then I'd fly.
Rob Stowe, Modu, Lexi Lawless back here with you. Copa America continues from Rio. Brazil, Peru. Lex, let's take another look at the Peru 11 trying to spring an upset tonight.
Yeah, as we mentioned in goal, Pedro Galesi from Orlando City. He's got to have a big game, and he is certainly capable of doing that. In that middle with Yotun and Tapia, keep an eye. We've talked so much about Neymar in that central position. Let's see how they contain him. And then Lapadula up top.
Brazil, 6 changes to their starting 11, Mo.
Yeah, Ederson slots in goal. Thiago Silva partners Militao on that back line. Fabinho comes in midfield. Everton is out wide. Neymar comes into a more central role, and Gabi goal leading the line for Brazil.
Brazil looking to move themselves back atop Group B. The three of us will see you next at halftime for the call of Brazil, Peru, John Strong, and Stu Holden.
And Rob, it is a rainy, breezy evening in Rio de Janeiro, as well it might be. 4-day shot in the southern hemisphere. But this is the stage of the Estadio Olímpico Nilton Santos, as we have once again a brief moment of silence acknowledging the frontline workers who continue to battle the COVID-19 pandemic across South America and indeed across the world. With that, the nightcap of day 3 of this 2021 Copa America under the command of Patricio Luistao of Argentina is underway. It is Brazil in the famous canary yellow. It is Peru in the white with a red sash they have been sporting since 1936. The Brazilians comfortably enough against a short-handed Venezuela. A 3-0 win on Sunday. 8 consecutive wins for Brazil across all competitions. The last 5 by way of shutout. Indeed, the last team to score a goal against Peru in October. I should say last time to score a goal against Brazil in October. That was Peru. The last team to beat Brazil at a Copa America. That was Peru in 2016. The last team to beat Brazil in Brazil in a Copa America match. That was Peru back in 1975 on their way to the last title. This is a rematch of the final from 2 years ago. Peru tied it late in the first half. Chichi's Brazil ran away 3-1 winners for their 9th Copa America title. And whereas Brazil was in action over the weekend, Peru were idle. This is their opening game of this year's Copa America. So, having said all that, Stu, what are you looking for out there tonight?
Well, it's going to be really interesting. You mentioned all those different things. You could say potentially Peru's a bogey team for Brazil, but this is not the same Peru right now. This is a team sitting bottom in CONMEBOL World Cup qualifying. Only 1 win for them. They come in off the back of that win against Ecuador. Interested to see what they can bring in the attacking end with Lapadula. Can they get him involved early? Can Carrillo and Cueva cause this backline problems? But mostly about Brazil. And you see Gareca there trying to stop this Brazilian team who looked really good against Venezuela in the first match, and we'll be looking at more of the same in this second.
And you have a pair of current MLS players on the field for Peru. Pedro Galesi, the goalkeeper of Orlando City. The left back is the big one, Marcos Lopez, 21 years of age, of the San Jose Earthquakes. Here he is going to get on the ball now. His 2nd ever start for Peru. The other one was just last week in a World Cup qualifier. He replaces Miguel Trauco, who has been the consistent left back starter the last 5 years. So a big spot for the San Jose Earthquakes, 21-year-old left back. You've got a former Orlando player in Yoshimar Yotun, who's out there as well as Lapadula battling. That'll be out for a Peru throw. And there you go, on cue, Yoshimar Yotun now at Cruz Azul. Now the winning assist as they won the Liga MX title for the first time in a quarter century last month. Formally, like this man is now, Pedro Galesi, with Orlando City and MLS. It's Fabinho of Liverpool getting the start for Brazil, who nods that down. Pressure on Gabriel Jesus. Fred of Manchester United picking it up. A lot of Premier League on the field for Brazil in this game. They made 6 changes in total from the team that beat Venezuela on Sunday, including a change in goal with Ederson getting the start. And that seems to be the plan from Chichi, particularly in the group stages, but there is still Neymar.
You're seeing a little difference in the way that Brazil are building up versus the game against Venezuela. Fred is staying more central. Alexandro not playing as high up as you saw Lottie playing. And then you have Everton playing on that left-hand side. He'll come inside and get involved in touches, but you have 2 wingers now and Neymar centrally. Different ways in which they're going to try and break down this Peruvian defense.
once again dropping to pick it up. Brazil enjoyed 62% possession against Venezuela on Sunday. Let's go Yotun there, just coming in the back of Neymar. Pressure, though, to knock it away from Neymar. Got a little casual on that one. Danilo tracking back to pick it up. You see players already cutting up a little bit. It's been a rainy day in Rio. Neither team actually warmed up fully on the field, which isn't all that unusual in South American soccer, particularly if the conditions aren't great, but that is something to keep an eye on this evening, as showers are in the area in Rio tonight. Militao looking long. Lopez of the Earthquakes knocks it away.
Seen a lot of early the defensive pressure that comes from Brazil, and we talked about it with their counter-pressing, and when the ball turns over in the attacking third, how quickly their reactions are to win that ball back, instantly putting Peru under pressure. The ball goes out for a throw-in, and Brazil back in possession.
You can see even some of these passes on the ground, the ball just slowing down on the wet, heavy grass. Is it fair to say it's an advantage for Peru if it gets a bit mucky out there?
Yes, because it stops that free-flowing nature that Brazil have in possession, and the quick 1-2 touches around the corner. The ball, it takes a little zip off it. It starts to get stuck up in the grass with the heavy field, as you mentioned, and it allows then Peru just to rotate, Brazil not to move the ball as quickly. So it might open up, which we saw a little bit of Brazil in the first game, some more direct play, looking to play over the top at times, and then playing for the second balls as well. Peru, though, John, they just seem comfortable right now, saying we're not going to press up high. We're going to sit in a deeper block. It's 4-4-2. We're going to limit space centrally where Neymar is and force Brazil to beat us wide.
Net for Neymar was beyond him. And for Carrillo, who scored 3 of the last 6 goals Peru have put up. A World Cup qualifying win last week at Ecuador. It ended an 8-game winless stretch. They had lost the prior 4 World Cup qualifiers. Remember, this is a Peru team that when they qualified for the Russia World Cup, it was the first time in 36 years that they had done so via a playoff as well. And they now sit bottom of South American World Cup qualifying goal differential. So this is a nation, this is a team in need of some momentum right now. Ramos looks long. Tip in the middle. Can Peru build? Over for Lopez and for Yotun. And you took the bump there from Fabinho. No foul. Fred comes to help. Getting the start. A lot of success against Peru in the last Copa America, but he was muscled off the ball. You see Peru have been consistent competitors in Copa America, able to get out of the group stage, reaching the final 2 years ago. Despite a 5-0 loss to Brazil in the group stage, they beat Bolivia. That was enough to sneak them in. They upset Colombia in penalties. They shocked Chile 3-0 in the semifinal before being beaten 3-1 by Brazil.
That's good work there from Carrillo, who's certainly a danger man for Peru. His ability off the dribble. You're going to see him coming inside, and actually expected him to be on the right-hand side. He's starting on the left with Cueva, who's flip-flopped on that right side. They'll interchange at times throughout this game, but maybe trying to take advantage of a matchup.
Yotun for Tapia, the last man to score against Brazil in that qualifying match in October. Sabram. Rolled in now. Good cover there. Militao came across and then he's tripped up.
It's actually Lopez getting into the attack, and Militao does well. He just waits Gets in front, takes the contact after the foul. It's a very slow start to this game, isn't it? Brazil seem in no rush right now to try and open this game up. It's very slow, it's methodical, it's moving the ball from side to side, not trying to test this back line. And this is not uncommon for this team. This is a team that really explodes in the second half where the majority of their goals have come. They look to wear other teams down by circulating the ball, trying to find gaps, but even for them, this is a pretty slow tempo.
Seem to be terribly wearing down Peru right now.
Yeah, not really when you only have to move a couple yards just to cover some space. But they could lull you to sleep sometimes. And that's why really, I mean, you look at this Brazilian team, they have guys that can just in a flash open a game up with one turn, one pass, one little burst of speed. And that's why if you're Peru, you can't say, okay, fine, the ball's in front of us right now, we're quite comfortable, because Brazil have an ability to go from 10 miles per hour to 150 in a flash.
Oh, they're misplaying that back for Militao, but no pressure on him. Thiago Silva on the ball, his first game since the Champions League finally limped off in that final just less than 3 weeks ago. The all-time leaders in appearances for Brazil back on the field, and now here they come. It's Everton. Chase back out to the corner. Alexandro, Neymar. Now for Fred, and he'll let fly from distance, and Galese happy to see that rise up and out.
It was nice work down that left-hand side from Brazil. Alexandro made a run into the attack. It allowed some space for Everton underneath to get on the ball. They worked that left-hand side. Eventually comes to Fred. I wasn't sure he was going to take the shot on his weaker right foot, and he had so much time and space, he thought, why not? But well up over the crossbar.
Real whistle there from Patricio Lustau to try to get Galese going. See, this is an interesting nugget, courtesy of the 3-0 win for Brazil against Venezuela on Sunday.
That's pretty good,
all
right?
Competitions, plus 100 goal differential for Brazil under Chichi. So on average, they're outscoring teams by 2 goals per game just about. And it's interesting to think how shocking it was at the 2016 Copa America Centenario when Peru beat Brazil as Fred lays it in wide. Here's Everton now coming forward for Brazil. His cross into the middle, was looking for Neymar. It's flicked along. It's Gabriel Jesus cutting it back, and it's stabbed home, and Brazil do have that opener. There's your 10 miles per hour to 110. It's Alexandro, the left back, on the end of the cross. Chichi celebrates. They're now plus 101.
And you're going to see here for Brazil, this starts in their own end, a little flick around the corner. Alexandro initiates that pass from Neymar, the little flick, and then look at them bursting numbers into the box. They have 4 waiting for this one, and great recognition in that moment. Gabriel Jesus could have taken this one on the half volley and smashed it towards goal. Instead, picks his head up, cuts it back. Alexandro continued his run into the box, unmarked, and just pokes it home. There's enough pace on that cross that all he has to do is just redirect it on target in the back of the net, and Brazil come to life, and they have the opening goal.
Just the second goal that Alexandro has scored in 27 appearances for Brazil. He, like Danilo, the right back, play at Juventus, teammates with Weston McKennie. He became the starter over the course of the last Copa America, taking over for Felipe Luis, started the final. And he opens up Peru. At the end of a sequence, as you said, he began it, he ended it. Gabriel Jesus, incidentally, while it's been a while since he's last scored, he came in with assists in each of the last 3 World Cup qualifiers, and he adds a helper here tonight.
I've been impressed with Jesus, John, especially in the last game. And one of the stats that jumped out at me against Venezuela was 5 ball recoveries. So he's doing the defensive work as well. He's tracking back. He's being a part of the buildup and really speaks to the identity of this Brazilian team. And then he has 2 assists as well in World Cup qualifiers. 1 now in Copa America with that pass there, but just an all-around effort. And not an out-and-out number 9. They've got him playing out wide. You see him through central areas for Manchester City. You also see him out wide. Just a very versatile player that fits into the system that Chichi and Brazil play.
Peru trying to go quick. Off of the dead ball there. Lapadula goes back out wide for Corzo. Marcos Lopez had to regain his left back spot with the Earthquakes last year. Carrillo has it now. And how do Peru respond? Again, each match day you've got one team in the group sitting out because they're 5-team groups now. And they were the ones that had to sit and wait and watch. Alexander Collins of New York City also on Peru's roster. Handful of others. Edison Flores started the final 2 years ago. Picked up an injury with DC United just before the tournament. Andy Polo came off the bench in that final. That awful injury last month for Portland. Raul Ruidiaz on fire for the Seattle Sounders this spring. Not picked for the Copa America, which is just awful news for everyone else in the MLS Western Conference, you have to assume, as MLS restarts play in full this weekend. Got your top 2 scorers of all time, Paulo Guerrero, Jefferson Farfan, Advíncula, the outside back, top 10 in appearances. This is a very different looking Peru team as that sequence of possession breaks down, looking for Lapadula. Anderson of Manchester City getting the starting goal for Brazil. The number 1 to Zach Steffen for City, and it'll be interesting to see how much rotation we see, like other positions, at goalkeeper as well for Brazil over the course of this tournament.
Not bad options you have, though, right? Starting goalkeeper for Liverpool and the starting goalkeeper for Manchester City. Both great
the guy
with their
that
feet.
won the guy that won the Copa Libertadores as well, just in January. Weverton is the other goalkeeper of Palmeiras. Neymar with the defensive pressure. A goal in there as well.
Got to take that in if you're Lapadula there. I mean, you've got Brazilian center backs right up behind you putting pressure on, but if you have moments in possession and you're trying to build through the middle especially, you have to try and take that in or take the contact and win the foul. But that's how they're going to bring players into the attack and create some opportunities. If not, it just comes right back at you, and Brazil in possession once again.
Get that away, but way too far for Gabriel Jesus. And remember, coming tomorrow, it's back over to Group A. Chile versus Bolivia, Argentina, Uruguay across Fox Sports. Coverage of Chile-Bolivia beginning at 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific here in FS1. Argentina, Uruguay. That'll be in FS2 tomorrow. Bolivia, shorthanded as they were, had a chance, took the lead against Paraguay, were unable to hold on after a first half red. We saw Chile get that draw with Argentina, and Uruguay, who were idle, like Peru in the opening weekend of the Copa America. We'll see Luis Suarez in company for the first time tomorrow. Neymar throwing a little bit of an arm out there as he was wrapped up off the ball. Yotun barking at the referee about it right now. Clip long. Militao is there, straight up in the air though. Thiago Silva takes a bump as he wins the second header. Rio reverses it back to the far side. By Tapias and away by Thiago Silva. Fabinho strong enough in the challenge there. Big tackle coming in, though, as Peru win it back. Fred trying to dig it out. Peru, again, you see they're trying to swarm numbers here, just can't create anything. And now Neymar on the other end. Gabriel Barbosa, Gabigol in front of him. Trying to play for him now. Because they're just playing safe. Galese couldn't chase it down. The pace of the game springing to life there in the last minute or so. That's going to be a foul.
A little bit of a conversation.
Style there, yeah.
Yeah, talking to from the referee at the end of that play. That was going back to that other incident. This was the foul on Neymar. Just those two continuing that one with Yotun.
By the way, Dr. Joe Macnigar, rules analyst and FIFA match commissioner, pointing out, so our referee today, Patricio Luistao, his father, Juan Carlos, was a referee as well. He was the referee the famous 1989 Paul Caligiuri game as the U.S. beat Trinidad and Tobago, returned to the World Cup for the first time in 40 years. Dr. Joe was a part of the U.S. national team at that time. That got Juan Carlos to the World Cup in Italy that year as a referee. So that's going to be swept out. They're arguing that should be a corner. It will be a goal kick. But an interesting connection to American soccer history down on the field in Rio tonight.
This is the flick from Neymar, just so nonchalant, isn't it? I mean, he doesn't have to look. He knows he'd already had a look over his shoulder and saw Alexandro. Then just a deception that takes out that entire midfield from Peru. Brazil off to the races. Ball squared back across by Jesus. And Alexandro, who was on the end of that pass from Neymar, finishes the play off. That's the difference so far.
Who needs your Neymars and your Gabigols when you got left backs coming forward to score? Maybe trying to find something right now. And you're returning now the cross into the middle, and something finally for Ederson to do. Takes a bit of a tumble at the end of it as well, but good sure hands on a slick evening there as Lapadula was charging him down.
Yeah, exactly right. It was a great take from Ederson. Had a little bit of pressure from Lapadula, but comes out and claims it. Looked very confident in those moments. You imagine it's just one of those things for Brazilian goalkeepers, and also with the teams that they play for. When you think about Manchester City in the Premier League, you're not that active throughout the game, but then when you are called upon, can you be as sharp and can you come up with a big save? As Neymar is taken down once again.
Here's Danilo, also of Juventus, along with Alexandro. Militao being forced back under some pressure. You see Ricardo Gareca there, the Peru manager, just sort of waving his team forward there a little bit. Fabinho. Neymar takes a hard hit. That'll draw a yellow card, so Patricio Luistao, our referee, just trying to draw a line. The 23rd minute.
There have been a couple of fouls on Neymar been building, and you get your center back Ramos just coming right through the back, and the ball's gone there clearly. Just lays a hit on Neymar from behind.
Christian Ramos, a long-time player for Peru, his 4th Copa America. He's played most of his career in Peru, now at the age of 32. First yellow card shown this evening. Fabinho trying to play long. Neymar slipped, but he got back up to control the ball. He's got Everton running in. It's clipped across towards Gabriel Jesus and just cleared in safe and behind. Lopez there first to react.
Taking no chances, Lopez. He wasn't entirely sure where Jesus was, but as you said, didn't want to take any chances and just hooked that one wide. And we saw in the first game how much of a threat Brazil can be from corner kicks. Neymar will deliver. They got the goal. It was actually Richarlison at that near post. They often aim for that and look for flicked-on balls and recycled second balls to some of those big targets in the center backs.
Neymar to take first corner of the game for Brazil. Swinging ball. Goes all the way through. Two players down for Peru as Fabinho fires back in. Gillespie. And that post covered as it flashes wide.
Well, he had the post covered, but I'm not sure how much he knew about this. It comes through a lot of people here, and it is dipping and moving, and he sees that late. Just very fortunate that last little bit of movement took it past that far post, but it's a pretty good strike from Fabinho from distance.
Chichi looking on, has not lost a competitive match, Copa America World Cup qualifier, the like, to a South American team. One competitive loss in his time was to Belgium at the last World Cup. And it was thanks to Peru that he got this job. When Peru beat Brazil at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough in 2016, it was the Raul Ruidiaz hand of God. It was a type of goal that would be easily chalked off today with VAR, but it counted then. It was a 1-0 win for Peru. It knocked Brazil out. Dunga, the former World Cup winning captain, their manager, was fired. Chichi took the job, and Brazil have been practically unbeatable since then. That is the last time Brazil lost a match, as they came back in 2019, the Copa America, unbeaten, as they won the title for a 9th time overall. There's Aldo Corzo for Peru. They're trying to do something with it, swept it behind. Here's your opportunity for Peru if you're going to struggle to create from open plays. It was Carrillo back on the right helping that out. Your chances are from corners.
It was good work from Carrillo. Just the positivity. Okay, take a defender on. Make something happen. He has the speed and the ability off the dribble to do that. And in that moment, he's able to win the corner kick. It'll be Cueva to deliver it.
Deep looping, swinging ball got knocked down. It was loose, and there was an offside flag for that touch right in front anyway. Off the second ball there, but just for a moment, you thought it might open up for Peru. Yeah, you got Carrillo back on the left, Cueva back on the right. So trying to keep that unbalanced tonight. Rodrigo taking off the ball as he tried to come inside with it. Scored that late third goal for Brazil against Venezuela on Sunday. His third goal in 8 appearances as Carrillo's tripped up. On the far side, playing in his 4th Copa America. We actually have the edge in possession right now. It can very often be a misleading statistic, but
in this case, yes.
A different dynamic than the game against Venezuela in the opener. Long run back for the goal scorer Alexandro to pick that ball up. Anderson gets rid of it. Comes again for Lopez. Again for Carrillo now. Trying to get that away, took a redirection, a return. Carrillo. They clip it to the far side for Corzo. Alexandro coming to defend. Cross whipped in. Thiago Silva was up for it.
It's a better spell, though, from Peru here. And talk about a little bit more patience. The pressure from Brazil has dropped off. They're able to get these wingers involved. Carrillo's coming inside, finding the ball. Nice little combinations. Yotun's getting into the attack as well, asking questions of this Brazilian defense and doing a good job also in the sharpness of their passing and moving it and shifting this Brazilian defense. The opportunity hasn't come yet, though. This is a much more confident spell of possession for them.
And it's not exactly been ruthless from Brazil since the goal to go chase down the second. Rio going to skip away from Gabriel Jesus and then just throws a hip into him. Now they'll duel for the ball. From a long way out, and why not? You see a little bit of a spill there from Ederson. No one on the doorstep for Peru, but on a slick field on a little bit of a wet night. Tapia there trying to test him.
And even with that confidence, Peru stepping up a little bit higher in their pressure now as well. And you wonder at what point do Brazil just raise that sense of urgency again? They've got the 1-goal lead, so they're quite comfortable in that. They're not conceding really clear-cut chances, but still, you would expect them to continue dominating the game and go for that second one, as you said.
So an interesting little shift here. Half an hour gone. The Estadio Olímpico Nilton Santos in Rio de Janeiro. 12th minute goal from Alexandro for Brazil. And a rematch of the 2019 Copa America final. It was Brazil who took the lead in the first half. It was Peru who tied it up on a Paulo Guerrero penalty late in the first half. Gabriel Jesus getting a goal in first half stoppage time. That stood up as the winner in a 3-1 victory, even as he had been sent off in the 70th minute. So once again trying to come forward for Peru. Good pressure there from Danilo, take it away from Korea. Now they're trying to spring forward there. It's the wrong side of Neymar. It was too far for Gabriel Barbosa.
Yeah, you saw both of them, didn't you? Barbosa and Neymar just turning around thinking, who was that pass for? Because they'd actually both made the same run to that left-hand side and not on the same page.
Little turn in there from Peña. Bringing Corzo into the play. Tackled back out wide. Now the cross coming in. There's Danilo up for it. Lopez trying to bring it down. The center back was come all the way forward to possession, tripped up, and wondered did Peru take this chance to throw some bodies in? No, they're just going to lay it down and get it going. Another hit pass there from Marcos Lopez and give it away. Gabriel Jesus putting Alexandro in a tough position. Jesus knocked down, no foul there. Danilo trying to reset for Neymar, skipped away from the defender. Neymar now coming forward, trying to make that little highway move one side around Ramos, couldn't do so, but it's back for Neymar now. And he's trying to dance his way around, 4 white and red shirts around him. One back by Fred. Just hacked out of there by Aldo Corzo, and he's down behind the play, slow to get up. Neymar's down behind the play, slow to get up.
Some bodies flying around here. I think part of it as well is the grass. And we talk about it, you're seeing players losing their footing across this field. and it's causing some collisions. And Neymar, too many touches on the ball. He had a couple of defenders around him from Peru who's trying to evade that tackle, then takes a kick on this second one. Is it Pena there? Just catches him right at the end of that. Looks like on the ankle.
Neymar still down. And the goal had the assist, for that matter, his corner set up the opener for Brazil against Venezuela.
Got a little skill check reel here. That's the best of the bunch, that one, though.
He really has been in tremendous form for Brazil. 6 goals, 5 assists the last 5 games. Those are qualifiers in Copa America, not friendlies. That's repelled there by Abram in the middle. Although one back by Gabriel Jesus. He'll turn it through in tight traffic, knocked away by Ramos. Neymar has scored in each of his last 4 outings for Brazil. 10 away now from Pelé for Brazil's all-time scoring record. He had a hat-trick against Peru in that game in October. Not moving him past Ronaldo for second. Cross clipped in by Alexandro. Ramos gets it away. Still, though, Brazil hold it in as they swing the momentum right back in their favor. Fred the back heel, Alexandro the cross. Couldn't find a teammate, though. Clever little idea there around Gabigol, and then he commits the foul. That fight for the 21-year-old.
Don't mind that. Stick that one on the highlight reel. Good composure there. He just felt the pressure coming from Gabigol. Not much else he could do. He was pinned back in his own end and decides to go for the little nutmeg and takes the foul.
T.S. Almeida, Chris Wondolowski amongst those smiling right now. Now look at the live standings. Brazil top of the group with this second win out of 2. Colombia just behind. Ecuador are the idle team in this round of games. And what a... Venezuela doing their best. They're trying to hang around, deeply shorthanded as they are. Get top 4 out of 5 advance. So that was a big point for La Vinotinto earlier. Just to try to hang around right now as Ramos goes long. Brought down very well by Carrillo. Crossed it in the middle, easily dealt with by Thiago Silva. Gabriel Jesus now tight roping on the outside, and then he's fouled.
Brazil are struggling, though, with their build-up right now. And you're seeing the pressure coming from Peru, so it's forcing the Brazilian defenders, when in possession, to make decisions quickly. And then you saw Militao in that moment, had to look up, didn't really see many options, plays it into Jesus. There's 3 or 4 Peruvian defenders around him. And then in that moment, they make the foul. But still, it's this second phase, Brazil getting now from the middle part of the field into the final third and really creating some dangerous opportunities. The goal came in a transition moment, started deep in their own end, but when it's slow, it's pretty comfortable for Peru defensively right now.
And I suppose if you're Peru, I mean, you're just fine at 1-0, really. You're hanging around, you're a moment away. Not like you're hanging on for dear life right now. Fred rolls it wide for Everton. One of the players brought into the lineup. 6 changes for Brazil from the lineup they sent out against Venezuela on Sunday.
One of the big things I would say is they're missing a vertical element to the game right now. We saw early against Venezuela some of these direct passes, trying to find Jesus running from outside to in. It drops the back line off a little bit. Right now, Everton's coming towards the ball. Jesus is coming towards the ball. Gabigol the same. there's nobody asking questions defensively, and Peru can quite happily squeeze the game, make it tighter and less space between the lines, and that's where Brazil are struggling.
Ederson just so casual and unbothered there, under some pressure with the ball at his feet. Fred won the first tackle, not the second. Peru have some numbers here if they want to make something out of it. Rolled it in the middle, and a chance from an angle, clipped along, blocked down off the chest of Danilo as it opened up very quickly for Peru, and they're going to get a corner out of it.
On their pressure is rewarded. It was Cueva who initially wins the ball back, and it's Yotun at the end of this one. Just a little wide on the angle. He sees Ederson coming out, tries to chip it over the top of him. But they've won a corner, which Yotun will take with the left foot.
Yotun's out-swinging ball. Header looping up onto the roof of the net, though. Like it was Tapia in there. Okay, Tao holding his jaw. We saw Chichi make 2 halftime substitutions against Venezuela. As we said, he's got a wealth of options. Neymar tried to pull off that little move and couldn't.
And that actually last shot for Peru gives them a higher expected goals value than Brazil so far in this game, which kind of tells you that they've been working their way back in after going down initially. Their response by ramping up the pressure a little bit, stepping a little higher up the field, being more purposeful in their possession, then also getting their creative players involved. They've been rewarded with that.
Pedro Galese has not had a save to make. Now, he had the goal conceded, of course, but that was the only shot on goal that Brazil have managed. So rather, did not have a save to make, just that he's not made a save.
Definitely two different things.
Yes, fair enough. Peru again, looking to slip it through for Lapadula. And that was a defensive touch. It was Thiago Silva in there. And another corner for Peru. Just hanging around, trying to knock on the door here. Final 5 minutes of the first half. And everybody coming back to defend for Brazil. Neymar went down. Gabriel Jesus up with the first header. It was mishit, trying to play it back in the middle. Gabi couldn't control it cleanly, though. And it is the same player, incidentally. Gabriel Barbosa, a.k.a. Gabi, a.k.a. Gabigol. A.k.a. playing for Flamengo, the most popular club in Brazil, and one of the few domestic-based players on this Brazil squad. So a big spotlight on him to perform. Good pressure there by Fabinho. Here is Gabigol on the ball. Options either side. It's Everton. Slowed it down a little bit there. Flip back across. Lopez up with the header. Held in by Danilo's run forward. He'll intercept the second attempted clearance. Rio working hard to knock it away, but again, Fabinho just slides across and breaks it up.
You referenced the changes as well, John, that Chichi made in the first game, and you think about the wide positions are certainly areas of the field and where he might make a change. Everton has not been very involved in the game. He's on the lower end of touches for the team, only 21 touches. Ederson is right behind him with 16, so he kind of says his involvement as well. Gabigol you haven't seen enough of. Gabriel Jesus in the final third. All attacking players for Brazil. I could see an area of focus where he might look to shift the balance of this game a little bit in the second half and be more dynamic when they have the ball in their attacking third.
And we said this often. As you take a look at what's coming up on our horizon halftime, I'll look back to Colombia, Venezuela earlier today. I want Alexi's thoughts in the first half, and we'll set the table for Lionel Messi back in the field tomorrow. As it's rolled into the middle there, and just left behind by Yotun. It was a good look there for Peru, and then a hard foul as they try to spring their way out. In fact, that was Yotun coming in with the foul. So he gets the yellow card.
I think Yotun recognized in this moment, hey, if I win the ball here, we have a good opportunity to try and score the goal. Gabriel Jesus doing enough just with that long touch there, gets his body in front, draws the contact.
that when you are Brazil, when you're wearing the canary yellow, you've got those 5 stars above your crest for a record 5 World Cup wins. Grinding out a 1-0 isn't going to be enough in the eyes and the minds of many. As Marcos Lopez intercepts that pass. Good tackle there from Fabinho. Good tackle by Lopez there as Gabriel Jesus thought he was getting away.
But a solid first half for Lopez, dealing with Jesus, and Jesus tries to turn away from them, wriggle away from that one, and he just makes a well-timed tackle out for a throw-in.
Just the 4th time in 5 years that Peru are not playing with Miguel Trauco as their left back. Instead, Marcos Lopez of the San Jose Earthquakes. Neymar, chance for a second there for Alexandro. Once again found himself upfield, and he blasts it over.
Played a good option wide to play the pass. Brazil win the ball back, the acceleration through spaces. Right there, the hesitation. He had a little look. He had Everton outside him. Right there, a little hesitation. Corso decides to stay inside, and then the shot is up over the crossbar. He's off balance as he takes it.
You mentioned a little bit of what Brazil need. What do Peru need in the second half if they are indeed going to get a result out of this?
I feel it's much of the same. It's been a good second part of the first half for them, and trying to create opportunities. They've won a couple corners. They've been on the doorstep. It's just been poked away by Brazilian defenders. So if they can continue some of that, you can't expect to create a lot of good chances against this Brazilian defense, but those half chances, and I think Cueva and Carrillo coming inside with fullbacks high is what caused Brazil problems, because now all of a sudden you have numbers to create advantages, and that's come through the possession. I expect Brazil to step up their pressure a little bit more in this second half and start to take away some of that possession for Peru.
Final few seconds of the half. Awkward there from Thiago Silva, but it did the job. And that will be the end of the first half tonight. So it's been slow and it's been sloppy, but it's Alexandro, the left back of Juventus, who has the game's lone goal. Ramo and Alexi on the other side of the break will break down what we've seen so far. 45 minutes down, 45 to go at Estadio Olimpico Nilton Santos in Rio, where it's Brazil 1, Peru 0.
Peru making their way out onto the field right now for the second half call. Once again, Stu Holden and John Strong.
And Rob, it'll be interesting to see how the teams come out this second half. We saw Brazil on Sunday make a pair of changes, try to shake things up. How do Peru respond? How do they find a way in and try to pull a result from their opening game of this tournament as they were idle on Sunday? Rapadula there, again, no pressure. You're wearing the number 9 of Paulo Guerrero, the all-time leading scorer for Peru, who, by the way, it's not like he's retired. He's just not fit enough in the mind of Ricardo Gareca, coming off a torn ACL last August. So he's one of a number of big players not picked for this tournament. Do they have something that they can find in the second half, and will Brazil actually take the field for the second half, because they have yet to do so? Stu, what are the things that are on your mind as we come into the second half?
Well, I think the focus for Peru is continuing to get Carrillo involved in the great game early, and Cueva, the two of them right there. They've been the biggest threat for Peru, and 3 of Peru's last 6 goals have come through Carrillo, so he's been really strong as well. And Lapadula, with the number 9 shirt, as you said, only 10 touches. That was the least on the team for Peru in that first half. He's not a player that's going to run away from you. He's not a big aerial threat at 5'8", but he is good back to goal. Can they get him involved with that first pass, take it in and build from those moments? But generally, it didn't feel like Brazil were as dominant as we saw them in the first game and have seen them through World Cup qualifying. And the challenge for them is going to be, can they be more dynamic? Can they cause more problems in that final third and get that second goal? Because you see the second going to then 3 or 4, and it looks like they might have been making a change there. I saw Everton Ribeiro stripped off, and we might see him coming into this game in the second half.
We see Richarlison, number 7. He started on Sunday against Venezuela. And there's the other, Everton Ribeiro. So similar to what we saw from Chichi the other night. A pair of changes at the break. And as Alexandro, he was one of those halftime changes in the opening match. It's his goal, it's the difference right now.
And I talked to John in the first half about what Brazil were lacking in the final third and having some verticality. Richarlison certainly helps them with that in running in behind. He was a really willing runner in that first game. Outside to in, playing wide, really dynamic in his movement. That might open up the defense a little bit more for him to have some opportunities. And Everton Ribeiro, you see him playing underneath, playing in the half spaces. Really good connector of the ball as Brazil look to build up in that second phase where they really struggle in the first half as well.
Ribeiro, who plays at Flamengo as well. One of the other domestic-based players, Richarlison of Everton. Those are the two players on, and we'll try to confirm the two players who have come off for Brazil as the second half is underway, halfway to a 9th straight win in all competitions for Brazil. It'll be the best mark since the first 9 games under Chichi in the aftermath of their loss to Peru in the 2016 Copa America. Chichi took the job. They won the first 9 games that he was the manager of. And can it be a 6th consecutive shutout win as well to take total control of this group? Here's Richarlison just on the field as a halftime sub. His cross dealt with by Christian Ramos. Fabinho there completely upended by Lapadula. No foul on that one, though. So it looks like Gabigol is one of the players that came off. Everton Ribeiro sitting up on the right, pushing Gabriel Jesus a little bit higher up.
It looks like Everton's the other player to make way on that left-hand side, and that's where Richarlison is gone. Gabriel Jesus going more centrally now, playing alongside Neymar, and Everton Ribeiro going on that right-hand side. We'll see if he can come inside a little bit more and they can get their fullbacks, especially on the right side as well, with Danilo higher into the attack and create some opportunities. I expect to see Brazil playing at a higher tempo in this second half. I don't think Peru can play with them when they play at that level. We didn't see it enough in the first half, though.
As you alluded to in the first half, in the time that Chichi has been the manager of Brazil, they've scored about 60% of their goals in the second half. And that was one of the big articles last couple days in the Brazilian media. And Chichi saying, yeah, it's by design. We try to wear teams down. So we'll see if that happens for Peru. It was 1-0 at the break against Venezuela, and it finished 3-0 on Sunday up in the Brazilian capital of Brasilia. One down in Rio de Janeiro, where it is just a few minutes past 10 p.m. Just a few days shy of the official start of winter in the Southern Hemisphere. A free kick for Peru. We saw them from a similar position in the first half, just put it down and play, and you wonder if they're going to throw some bodies up for this one. Sergio Pena was the player upended, and that's indeed what they're going to do. Cueva standing over it. Yotun standing over it. Cueva, who joined a club in Saudi Arabia this winter and has been on fire since. Fascinating journeyman career he's had at 29. Ederson getting himself set. It's Yotun to swing it in. Solid defensive header away. Just nowhere to go for any sort of a second phase in there for Peru. Ended an 8-game winless run with a 2-1 victory over Ecuador in World Cup qualifying just last week. They're bottom of World Cup qualifying in South America, but they were finalists of the Copa America just 2 years ago. Over the top, Richarlison, halftime substitute, has it now. Richarlison laid back in. Fred picks it up. Tim Ribeiro, the other halftime substitute, back for Richarlison. Shot through traffic, took a deflection there off of Ramos. That'll be a Brazilian corner, just their second of the game.
Well, instant impact from Richarlison, giving them a little bit of a vertical look runs in behind, takes it down well. Brazil then move up into that final third, and were very patient in how they were trying to create an opportunity there. Eventually, it's the shot from Richarlison goes out for a corner.
Pedro Galese of Orlando City in MLS. Getting himself set, has not made a save, just the one shot on goal, which was the goal in the 12th minute. Neymar created a goal with an in-swinging corner against Venezuela. His in-swinging ball now, good catch by Galese. Switch to the near side. Andre Carrillo waiting for it. Had to wait a long time to bring it down. Nice little dance, but couldn't get away. It's a Brazilian throw. Good work by Fred there.
Yeah, it was. It was really good work because the ball was a little under hit from Yotun, get caught up in the grass a little bit, and then Fred recognized that, gets out quickly, closes down the space, and Carrillo was dancing on it without actually touching the ball, and he just stood there, kept his focus, and is able to win the ball back for Brazil. Good work by Fred.
That was sort of the soccer equivalent of that one scene from Indiana Jones with the guy with the sword, and he just pulls out the pistol. That's kind of where you saw that. Neymar slipped, and that's intercepted by Ramos. Richarlison stepping in to knock it away. Sergio Peña, it's one of the newcomers for Peru at this tournament. Some of it due to injury, some of it due to Ricardo Gareca maybe just trying to turn over the generation a little bit, particularly with the poor start in qualifying. He's working hard to dig that out. He gets chopped down at the end of it. No foul, though. He's slow to get it behind the play. Neymar has it now. Lost the handle, threw his body in there. It's a out for a Brazil throw. Thiago Silva for Fabinho. Thiago Silva, a chance to move into the top 10 all-time appearances for Brazil. This is his 94th appearance. 3 shy of Ronaldinho, who holds the 10th position. Thiago Silva now at the age of 36. Past that mark here at the Copa America. Gabriel Jesus heading off inside. It's Danilo. Can we get another goal from a fullback? That one ends up wide. That's where a lot of the dangers come, though, tonight for Brazil.
Yeah, getting fullbacks into the attack, something where they become a real threat and committing numbers. Great work from Jesus. This is a great take, and just Jesus continuing to run. Nobody from Peru comes out to close it down until Ramos, and you could see he had so much time and space there to take that strike. He just sliced it away. Anything on target there would have had a really good chance.
Danilo playing in his first Copa America, and the player we're used to seeing in that spot, Dani Alves, who was today named to the Olympic roster that Brazil will send to Tokyo. No players will play in both the Copa America and the Olympics, despite a few like Neymar having interest in doing so. They won the gold in Rio 5 years ago.
PSG shutting that one down pretty quickly.
Yeah, that was a hard no.
Marquinhos, yeah. Hey, I tell you what we're going to let you do. Play 2 international tournaments. Yeah, no thank you.
Towel there, shepherding that out and holding his arm in some pain at the end of it. Lapadula protesting his innocence right now. As you see Ricardo Gareca trying to find the answer. Militao is in some pain.
Yeah, it looked fairly innocuous, didn't it? But his reaction at the end of this, we'll see what happened. Is Lapadula is grappling together. It looks like that left arm just gets caught a little bit behind his body and comes out of that wincing. Still off the field, although he looks to be making his way back on now. This was the skill earlier in the game from Neymar when they were out in the open field trying to find Barbosa. Just didn't quite connect.
When in doubt, go to an expo.
Yeah,
Neymar
exactly.
skill checks.
I'm okay with it.
What have you seen from him through 54 minutes? Well, first of all, it's pressured away from Fabinho and given away to Peru. Carrillo, pressure from Richarlison, gets it away. It's Corzo, the right back. Corzo getting across it. It's a comfortable catch by Ederson.
It's been a quiet day for Neymar. I'm assuming that's what you were going to ask me there, but
Yes, yeah.
yeah, he's low on the touch count for them. One chance created. You think about the first game and the expected influence from him. Playing centrally, hasn't quite been able to get involved. Now, give credit to Peru as well. They're clogging up the middle. But when we saw from him in the first game was getting into these spots where he can come inside and combine and comes to life, has a little bit more freedom. I think playing up front right now, he's struggling to find space to get on the ball and have a real impact on the game. So I was a little surprised when Chichi made the changes that Richarlison actually goes out wide left and he's still keeping Neymar centrally, because a big part of their success was his interchanging with the left back, which was Lottie in that first game.
Good strike by Gabriel Jesus there. Everton Ribeiro back on the ball. Reset for Fabinho. Neymar dropping in. Fred has heels clicked, able to keep it into the middle, stabbed away by Abram. Carrillo out-dueled there by Alexandro. He's got the game's lone goal back in the 12th minute. Brazil's left back, the difference maker, his second career international goal. Brazil try to make it 2 wins out of 2 at the Copa America. There's Neymar once again. Throws that into Ribeiro. Poked away, picked up by Fred. Fred to the far side. Gabriel Jesus with options. He'll clip the cross in. Richarlison lost his footing there as he was going to go attack it. And he takes a hard bump shoulder to shoulder. He's down at the end of the play.
He had a little look around to see if maybe I should get up. I mean, there's a little bit of contact there, a little bit of a push-off from Pena, but not enough for a penalty. Especially because he's just dangling his leg out just to get a touch on the ball and try and draw that contact. Of course, it's being checked, as all plays are, by VAR. Referee having none of it, and I agree.
Fred again battling in there. Fabinho comes to take it. Second chance to pick it up as he's just fighting through tackles in there to keep the ball for Brazil. Danilo running forward. Everton Ribeiro. Fabinho forced backwards. Neymar, a little 1-2, was overhit though, and Corzo able to gingerly shepherd it back.
For Brazil, those moments where they're trying to combine, trying to look for the little rotations in the final third, that execution isn't there right now for them, and it hasn't been sharp enough, I would say, for Brazil. It's a laboring effort for them in this game, but yet they lead by a goal, and Peru not quite challenging the other way. So, but as you said earlier, I think in the first half, was it, John, just saying that, look, this Brazilian team are held to such a high standard that you expect more on a continual basis from them. Still a long way to go in this second half, but they look very comfortable. It's just not the high level that we saw in the first game from them.
Fred weaving his way through. That from Gabriel Jesus. Again, riding challenges, and that one's going to be a foul. Battling in there. Well, Neymar's going to set this up. Let's see what he wants to do with it. Bring the big bodies forward. There's Thiago Silva wearing the captain's armband, and his return. Missed the last 3 games just in the last week and a half for Brazil with that injury picked up in the UEFA Champions League final. Militao is up there as well. Neymar drives that in. Mistake, though. Back in from Fabinho. Nothing comes of it immediately. Gabriel Jesus then commits the foul, trying to win it back. Patricio Luistao, a referee, just started to... Yeah, there is the card for Gabriel Jesus. You could feel him trying to rein things back in a little bit in the last minute or two.
Well, overeager to try and win that one back there on Cueva, and just jumps around and no contact on the ball. Definite foul, and as you said, I think setting the tone as well by giving the yellow card in that moment. Not the first foul tonight from Gabriel Jesus, as Gareca and his coaching staff in intense conversations. Yeah, even since the beginning of the second half here.
Neymar running away. Neymar into the box, forced out, tripped up on the edge of the area, penalty for Brazil. Well, that's how you can grab a second. Their second goal against Venezuela was a Neymar penalty. Their second against Peru might be the same.
Well, the last time these two teams played as well, Neymar converted a penalty kick in that game, and he does well in this moment just to draw in. Initially, the defending by Ramos was poor. You see Tapia coming back. There's a little hesitation to step over. He drags his leg before the contact here. He's very clever. He recognizes right now, Tapia, okay, here's the stopover. Boom, I'm going to accelerate away. Oh, that feels like a little bit of a dive here.
Is it enough, though, to take away the penalty on VAR?
I don't see a penalty there, I got to be honest. You see him kind of going to ground already and stumbling to take that contact, and then he throws the back leg up into Tapia.
Well, Pedro Galese has got a great history of success, particularly in shootouts, dealing with penalties. We saw Neymar put in the bottom right-hand corner. They are checking officially. Mauro Villano of Argentina is our video assistant referee.
And to your point, it would have to be clearly and obviously the other way for this one to be called back, and it doesn't look so like in the moment that it will, but that is a very soft penalty.
So Neymar a chance to get within 9 of Pelé, Brazil's all-time goal-scoring record.
Oh, he's gonna have a look.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Because listen, this is what I was going to say. There's a difference between searching for a clear and obvious error, which has been the standard in MLS. Globally, it has sometimes been a, why don't you have a look at it and see if whether or not this is the right call. Patricio Luis now coming in. Dr. Joe Machnick, our FIFA Match Commissioner and Rules Analyst. Dr. Joe, give us your thoughts based on what you've seen so far.
Well, I very much like Stewart's point where Neymar actually trails his legs so that it's makes contact with the defender and then he goes down. I have a good feeling that the referee here will take away this penalty. That it's a very, very harsh decision and actually caused by Neymar himself.
I very much like your opinion as well, Dr. Joe. Thank you.
When are you two going to start disagreeing, for goodness sakes?
I mean, you see it, even the first 5 or 6 replays. No way. I'm with Dr. Joe. I think this one has to be brought back.
If this is in MLS and if the bar is, it's clearly and obviously wrong and there's no argument to be made whatsoever.
Yes, I think even
this go away?
Yes, I do think so.
Because there clearly is still contact. It's not a lack of contact.
Contact.
It's a matter of how the contact's initiated.
Yes, but there's a little contact on the back of the shoulder. Look at the left hand from Tapia, but that's not enough to send him to ground
like right
in the way that he falls.
Yeah.
You can see his body movement. That push right there is sending you to ground different than that, where you're dragging the legs behind you, almost like a dolphin flopping down there.
Because you see where Neymar's left heel hits the left knee of Tapia there, and then the right leg comes up.
I mean, he's even trying, Tapia's even trying in this moment here, when he feels Neymar going down, he's trying to pull himself out of that challenge. Are they saying maybe it's the right leg here, that one? But no, I mean, when you look at it from the other angle, I just can't see it.
Dr. Joe, you've seen this about 47 times now. Anything standing out to you?
There's nothing that changes my opinion. I'm hoping to see the referee show the VAR signal and say no penalty, which that's what he's going to do.
Yeah. Drop ball, no penalty, so it is taken away. Patricio Lustau, our referee. Mauro Villano, our video assistant referee, agreeing with Stu and Doc that that was not a penalty foul committed by Renato Tapia on Neymar. And so Peru get their get out of jail free card. And it stays at 1-0. Now, can they take advantage of it? And Fabinho got caught. Richarlison went down immediately off the restart. Lapadula was in there. All right, all that, and it's going to be a lot of stoppage time now. What do you want to see from Peru? Maybe just the next 5 minutes off the back of that reprieve.
I think seeing what we saw from them at the end of that first half, where they were pressing a little bit higher up the field, they had better ball retention and possession that allowed them to get the fullbacks high and into the attack.
Gabriel Jesus, good control. Richarlison has it now. Gabriel Jesus down behind the play. Referee seeing if an advantage will come out of it. Fred just sort of miscontrolled that there, and that will be a goal kick in the end. Although should it have been a goal kick?
Yeah, it looks in to me.
There went the other way.
Gabriel Jesus
down. It was a prop.
He lost his footing and then ends up handling the ball. Referee's having a good game. He's on top of the game, keeping it moving when he can, calling the fouls that he needs to, giving out enough cards as well. Got all the big decisions right.
The night is young.
Indeed.
Switch looking for Corzo, cut out by the goal scorer Alexandro. Two changes in the wings you can see for Peru. And they're both forwards getting set to come on. One of them is a debut and the other is a second ever appearance, just to give you a sense of how young and new and different this Peru team is. It'll be Peña coming off. And the first one on is Luis Iberico. It's his second ever appearance and then a debut for Alex Valera. He'll be coming on to replace Lapadula. So great opportunities here. Iberico has played his entire career in Peru. He's 23, career high 6 goals last year. Started this year well. Got called up for the Copa America. Dowling in there. It's Korea now trying to escape in Varela, number 11. He was a player, had been in the second division in Peru, had been newly promoted, was last year's newcomer of the year in the Peruvian league. He was a complete unknown. Even though his team got relegated, he transferred to a different club, and now here he is at the Copa America. Can they be the answer for Peru tonight against Brazil? Fred up for Neymar. Neymar on the turn. Neymar lets it fly, and he scores! Never mind the penalty. Neymar from outside the box. It's Brazil's second goal anyway, and they have some breathing room on Peru.
5 straight games now for Neymar, and it's one of those things for Peru. First moment in the second half, you get numbers into the attack, you get caught out in transition in the other way. Tapia misses a ball in the midfield, then it's a transition moment for Brazil. You've made a couple subs out of sorts, and then Neymar essentially, first time, no pressure there from Ramos, and Neymar has a little look over his shoulder, hesitates and says, okay, I will turn and I will take that shot. Comes back the other way through the legs of Ramos, which catches Galese off guard. Can't get across his goal, and it is in the back of the net for his second goal of this Copa America.
Chichi needed that. Brazil needed that. Big hug between the two of them now. You can see on the near side, 9 away from Pele. 5 straight games with a goal, as Stu mentioned. 7 goals in total. That includes a hat trick against Peru back in the fall. They get their second anyway, minutes after having a penalty attempt chalked off by VAR. Long run for Iberico, the substitute, to get there, and he's outdueled by Danilo. Everton Ribeiro Couldn't connect the pass, but Gabriel Jesus picks it up anyway.
Fabinho's been good tonight, really good for Brazil, stepping in into the role that you are so accustomed to seeing Casemiro, but just the way he's won the balls back, kept the game moving for them in the middle of the field. Just a really great sense of reading the game, and in that number 6 position, he's been excellent for them.
Speaking of Liverpool, Roberto Firmino looks like he's preparing to come on for Brazil. Ribeiro back from Gabriel Jesus. That's behind Fred. Alexandro for Richarlison. Was blocked by the outstretched foot of Corzo. Alexandro again trying to cut inside. Good tackle by Carrillo there to take him off it. And Brazil, who were unbeaten all time in competitive matches with Casemiro on the field, have been oftentimes just trying to survive when he gets himself almost inevitably suspended for yellow card accumulation. So to be able to give him a game off, be 2-0 up with 20 minutes to go, it's a very good key thing for Brazil, sort of buried beneath the Neymar goal and everything else that'll be talked about from this game. Here come Peru, though. They make it interesting and pull one back. Iberico back into the middle. 20 minutes for them. That was under hit, and Militao came to get it. Neymar just
frustration
slowed
there
up
too.
there by Ramos.
Just telling him to calm down a little bit. Neymar's frustration. Ramos getting close to him in the middle part of the field, but yet when he's 18 yards from goal, chose to back off and not close him down. And Neymar says, "Thank you very much," smashing that one in the back of the net.
It will be Gabriel Jesus who is taken off for Roberto Firmino. Jesus, who has not scored for Brazil now in 10 games since the Copa America final against Peru 2 years ago. Did pick up an assist tonight. You bring one Premier League star off, you bring another on, and Roberto Firmino now playing in his 3rd Copa America. They put that in a tough position. Fred had to come all the way back to clean it up. Fred back for Neymar. A little bit of space now to try to accelerate. Ramos on a yellow card. Got to be careful. Neymar around him easily enough. Richarlison now. Gillespie, big rebound off that save, but it evades anyone in yellow. That's Gillespie's first save tonight officially.
And you can see why when we talked about the number of goals that Brazil score in the second half, almost 60% of them under Chichi, and teams are worn down. They put so much into that first half. Then you get the second one for Brazil, and it just feels like then it could be anything because they accelerate. Ramos just trying to chase Neymar there. I mean, he's taking him all the way into midfield, turned away, accelerated, can't catch him, lays it off for Richarlison, doesn't get a clean strike on it. And the save from Gillespie just missing Firmino, who was trying to follow that play up.
It will be interesting. Brazil are idle on Sunday as Group B come back into play. Then Wednesday of next week, they'll play Colombia. And a lot of history between those two teams. Certainly that is the other elite team I think we would think of off the top of our heads in Group B. More changes coming here. Cueva's going to come off for Peru. It'll be another debut. Harold Martin Tavara will be coming on. And Yoshi Yotun will come off as well. Alexis Arias, his 3rd ever appearance for Peru. The other change, 4 of the available 5. Wants it himself. Galese at full stretch. Happy to see it roll past the post.
That's one of those why not moments from Neymar, as they had another moment in transition. They're breaking away. He had Richarlison to his left. It kind of popped up a little bit. And he says, why not? Left foot from 30 yards. What do I have to lose here? But pulled that one past the post. Just Peru chasing the game a little bit now, and defensive organization not quite as good. He doesn't hit it very cleanly. Just comes off the inside of the boot, but zipping along that grass. Galese at full stretch, just having to look over to make sure that one's going wide.
What percentage of Neymar's career would fall into the category of why not?
Do you need an exact number here? Maybe 65, 70% perhaps?
It is the best example of the ultimate Brazilian ideal, jogo bonito. Soccer as fun, as joy, as passion, as art.
You talk about those superstar players, the Messis, the Cristianos, the Neymars, and it is their ability to try the why not and be able to execute it, because it's not a why not for them. It is for us watching something like that, but to have the mastery and the skill to pull it off at such a high level, and just to try things that come off on a continual basis.
Milton Ribeiro able to keep it. Ramos again just trying to be cautious how he's going into some of these challenges on a yellow card, and ends up being swept out.
It does become an area where you think about on this field is maybe you get those guys off.
Now, speaking of guys who can try why not and pull it off, Lionel Messi in Argentina, Luis Suarez in Uruguay. Different type of why not sometimes in his career. That'll be on FS2 tomorrow. Chile and Bolivia here on FS1, coverage beginning at 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific on FS1. Fabinho for Brazil. It pings around. It'll be a goal kick.
Leave it to you to take a bite out of that one.
One of the things to think about, because you have 4 teams advancing out of 5, the significance of that point for Venezuela earlier against Colombia and the Fariña saves. Because Peru will be on 0, having played 1 game. Ecuador on 0, having played 1 game. As Alexandro, who opened our night in the 12th minute with a goal. The 4th player substituted by Chichi in Brazil this evening. Replaced by the man he replaced at halftime against Venezuela, Renan Lodi. But as much as we focus on the top of the group and how will Colombia and Brazil sort of keep pushing each other, Venezuela, Peru, Ecuador, who 2 of those 3 can advance and give themselves a chance? Remember Peru at the last Copa America, 5-0 they lost to Brazil. They snuck through as a 3rd-place finisher with a win over Bolivia. And they beat Colombia in penalties. They shocked Chile in the first half, and they found themselves in the final. It can happen that quickly, despite your results of the group stage. Just can you get through as Carrillo wins a throw. That was, in fact, a handball and a free kick coming for Peru. Yeah, indeed. Yotun and Cuevo have been taking a lot of the set pieces, are both off the field right now. Everybody back to defend for Brazil. This one's hooked in, flicked along in the back post. There was a chance from right in front. It was Valera on his debut, almost scored a debut goal.
How has he missed this? Exactly what they were looking for, a great delivery, and then it's recycled at the back post. Not sure how much he knows about the first one there. It comes off the inside of his leg, and then Valera, my goodness, he's 3 yards out. I want to say anything on it, and it's in the back of the net. He tries to swing his leg through it and blast it up over the crossbar. What a huge miss there.
So Braum there had the look at sort of, it might have been a great assist. That's the moment. Peru now pressuring up high.
You're right. I mean, 12 minutes to go. If you get that goal, it's 2-1. You've got half a chance. It just feels like that kind of night now for Peru, doesn't it?
It's going to be a handball there on Arias.
waiting for the expected goals value of that one to populate.
But it goes to Everton Ribeiro. Outside of the foot curler in, was knocked away. Fabinho picks it up, fires it back in. Just too tall for Neymar. He liked the idea, though. And then Lottie was running onto that loose ball, got tripped up. Free kick coming for Brazil. Is this why not territory for Neymar?
Certainly could be.
This is indeed going to be, like Alexi has talked about, a tennis match. Volleys back and forth between Neymar and Messi on alternate days. This would be a great way for Neymar to keep his nose out in front. Has a goal already tonight. Goals in both games so far. 10 minutes to go in Rio. Galese getting himself set. This could go any number of ways, though, with the bodies that are forward for Brazil. It is Neymar. It is a comfortable second save for the night for Galese, who then gets tripped up at the end of it. You heard that one. Came in late on the tackle.
Yeah, the field mics really picked up that one, didn't they? The crunching tackle there from Firmino.
Those Lopez of the Earthquakes.
And he actually does well to get in front and poke that one away. And Lopez actually kicks into the back of Firmino's leg.
How does Lopez look for you tonight? 21-year-old kid, San Jose Earthquakes. He's in for a long-time veteran who woke up feeling sick the other day. What do you see?
He's done well. We referenced in the first half a couple nice moments from him. Good flick from Neymar there once again. Here come Brazil, but stepping onto a big stage and playing against the best team in the competition, one of the best teams in the world. He's looked composed in moments at a position, as you said, that they don't have to get much rotation in that left back spot. Neymar, oh, nutmeg there, oh wow.
Able to dance his way through, trying to get past the second. Somehow Neymar's back on the ball. He's having some fun now. He's dancing around now.
That was
felt the contact, and down he goes. Tavarana's debut had seen enough, and he'll take the yellow.
No, I'd take the yellow there, too. If somebody'd been dancing on it, nutmegging 2 or 3 guys, I mean, he was turning on the flare. The jogo bonito, as you said, John. Neymar on full display. We're going to get the Exmo replay of that guaranteed at some point here, but this was, oh my goodness, just a little touch through Tapia's legs. Good night. That is filthy. And then a little roll on Ramos, not for the first time tonight. See you later. Gets the second one back. Who wants some next? Okay, yeah, another little soul roll. Turn back. Little dance again. And then you're like, okay, I've had enough of this. Somebody's coming through to clean him out. There you go. Take that.
Well,
this is more so the appropriate range for a free kick where he's got a real chance to put this one in the back of the net.
Fred, is he a decoy? Is he window dressing, or can he maybe get a look here if all the focus is on Neymar? Pedro Galese of Orlando City.
That'd be like you standing it over with me, John. You can stand there, but I'm not letting you take it.
Galese getting himself set. And arguing about the wall. Here comes Neymar, and it just swept wide there. Galese, did he get a hand to it? Yes, just a fingertip to help it along.
He just tries to pick out that far post. It's hit well. Get a good look on this replay if there is a touch.
It's an itty-bitty one, it looked like, if anything. Danilo's going to come off. 5th and final substitution for Brazil. And Emerson, who has an interesting connection to the United States national team, will be coming on. And I guess well, the referee originally was pointing for a corner. It ends up as a goal kick. As Carrillo tries to lob it forward. Firmino the flick, Carrillo trying to get rid of it. So Emerson, the 22-year-old right back, also known as Emerson Royal, on the books at Barcelona, spent the last 2 years on loan at Real Betis. He now returns to Barcelona, and that'll be the competition for Serginho Dest, it appears, at this coming season for Barcelona. And can the United States, again, right or left back Dest, hold his place and keep himself a consistent starter for Barcelona this season? That'll be interesting to watch. Ribeiro trying to play inside. Firmino picks it up. Took a redirection off the pass. Clearance bouncing off of Neymar into the hands of Gallese. Almost flipping it forward. Flick along to find Richarlison there from Fred. Neymar now. Final 5 minutes. The Estadio Olimpico in Nilton Santos in Rio de Janeiro. Neymar with a goal. Trying to cross in for an assist, helped along by Ramos. That is Emerson, able to control and reset for Fabinho. Brazil looking like it's going to be 9 consecutive wins in all competitions. That dates back. The last time they lost, fall of 2019, a friendly against Argentina in Saudi Arabia. 6 straight shutout wins, as well as that's rolled through for Neymar by Ribeiro, just too far. And coming up after the game, Rob Moe and Alexi will break down what we've seen from Neymar, get you set for Messi back on the field tomorrow. And a recap of, that was a wild one, as scoreless draws go. Some fireworks at the end between Colombia and Venezuela. That coming up when we are done with Brazil, Peru. Fred on the run, got past the challenge, options either side. Fred for Richarlison, into the middle, a chance for Firmino. Gallese made the save. Neymar picks it up. Everton Ribeiro waiting for it. Instead, it's going to be for Fabinho. Wouldn't do anything with it, though. Emerson looking to reset. Put the little move on, drew the contact. Free kick coming.
That was a good move from Brazil, just turning up that speed, accelerating away. Neymar actually gets tangled up at the top of the screen there with Marcos Lopez. Richarlison just laying that one off for the Firmino, and that one should have been in the back of the net. He's just kind of stretching for it, isn't able to really get his balance and get his feet set to get any type of power on it to take it past Gallese, but a good save from him to come off his line and close down that angle.
Third of the night for the man nicknamed El Pulpo, the Octopus. It's a great nickname for a goalkeeper. And it's Neymar just taking quickly now, clipping it in. Emerson making the run, cut off there by Marcos Lopez. And he'll get rid of it. Peru, who will return to action on Sunday against Colombia. Venezuela, Ecuador is the other game. That'll be live on Fox on Sunday afternoon. In Group B, again, Brazil are idle in the next round of matches. You see how Peru will finish out. Remember those last two, Ecuador, Venezuela. It's those 3 teams, 2 of whom will advance to the knockout stage. So that'll be fascinating to see how they come down the pike. Can Venezuela get some guys back, get some guys healthy? Brazil are off on Sunday. They'll return to action. Big one against Colombia on Wednesday, 8 Eastern, here on FS1. And they'll finish up against Ecuador live on Fox. That is how Group B will finish out. Neymar, Ribeiro, Neymar once more. Neymar handing off. Richarlison now. Ribeiro stabs it home. There's the third for Brazil. Everton Ribeiro, 32 years of age. First career goal for Brazil.
so much better in the second half. The understanding, the movement off the ball, creating space wide. It's Neymar centrally, and it's because Everton Ribeiro comes inside. They combine, they open up the Peruvian defense, their space wide where Richarlison is, and he has the awareness for the second time in a row. This time it's in the back of the net. It's a great ball across with the left foot from the Everton man to Everton Ribeiro, who strokes that one home for his first goal for Brazil. He has had a good impact in this second half, and so Brazil with yet another second half goal for them.
Everton Ribeiro won back-to-back Player of the Year awards in the Brazilian League in 2013 and 2014. That got him his debut for Brazil. He was at the Copa America in 2015. He played 6 minutes. When he was called up for the World Cup qualifiers in October, including a game against Peru, it was the first time since that 2015 Copa America he'd been called up. Off the back of back-to-back Brazilian titles with Flamengo and a Copa Libertadores win as well in 2019. And on his 12th career appearance, Everton Ribeiro on the ball again, his first goal in Canary Yellow. What a great moment for him. And it's not dissimilar from teams with the U.S. and the few MLS players, and we get all excited about them. The Brazilian media does the same. So to have Gabriel Barbosa and to have Everton Ribeiro, both of the Brazilian League, both of Flamengo scoring goals in this Copa America, that's a big deal, and that's going to be a dead ball at the end of a collision there involving Richarlison. And isn't that interesting, Stu? Both of Brazil's first 2 games, sort of drab at the break, 1-0, a pair of subs. Can they shake it up? And they both seem set to end up 3-0.
Yeah, in different ways, though. And it's also from a Brazilian team. You think about the changes that Chichi made coming into this game, the halftime substitutions that he made again. And as you said, as he said as well, it is by design. This is a Brazilian team that are so strong and powerful and defensively sound, and yet in the final third when they want to, as we said, go from 10 miles per hour to 100. They can do it in a flash. They can do it in a way that they execute at such a high level, and as slow and methodical and poor at times the first half was, in the second half they've been in complete control outside of one moment off of a set piece. And Neymar, as Peru have started tired, he's found more space, he's been more clinical, and he's really come to life, and we drove it home here in this second half with an impressive display.
We will see Uruguay for the first time tomorrow against Argentina. Are Brazil the best-looking team so far at this Copa America?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, Argentina draw with Chile in their first game. Colombia draw with Venezuela so far in the earlier match day.
Great little cut-in. Chance for another. Firmino denied again. Richarlison saved off the line, but a second attempt from the seat of his pants gives Brazil their 4th. It's Richarlison finishing it off. And it's Brazil continuing to make it look like this is going to be their Copa America unless someone somewhere can come and take it from them.
No, now it's the samba party, and Neymar involved once again, dropping into a deeper position, and an inch perfect pass. Starts high, drops deep. Ramos comes with him. There's a gap between the center backs, slips it into Firmino. First time, not so much. Second time from the deck, a little scissor kick. You get a great look at that pass. First time around the corner. Galese can do just enough, and then Richarlison able to generate so much power from the ground there. A little scissor kick home. That pass is just exquisite from Neymar, though. What a wonderful ball.
Well, Richarlison scored a 90th minute penalty against Peru in the Copa America final 2 years ago. Just the cherry on top of a 3-1 win. Similar kind of situation for him to score his 10th career goal. Until the 88th minute.
Sounds about right.
2 more late ones for Brazil. Does it flatter them for the performance that they've added 2 on late, or is 4-0 a fair reflection of how this game has been?
3 might have been fair. I mean, look,
excessive.
The second half, they've just been in complete control. And the difference being their execution in the final third. So 4-0 is certainly deserved. Brazil have been by far and away the best team. The best chances from Peru have come from a couple scrappy moments. And I don't want to just completely take away from what they really do at times, but really, you've only felt there was going to be one winner in this game. And when Neymar wants to play and Neymar is feeling it, he thought he was going to take a kick there, didn't he? Dominant in different ways, but yet, again, we'll continue to talk about this. Brazil in second halves are just a different beast. 3 goals in this one. And maybe a 4th.
Yeah, the night's not done. We still got a minute left of stoppage time here.
This is, once again, why not territory.
Pedro Gallese is hoping it's please not territory. You see what he's trying to look through to find this ball on a slippery evening. Neymar, no, couldn't get it back down. So he'll have to settle for just his 5th consecutive game with a goal. 7 goals in that stretch. Richarlison comes off the bench with a goal and an assist. They got a goal from Everton Ribeiro. Gabriel Jesus setting up Alexandro for the opener. Brazil are getting attack from a lot of different places right now. 7 goals unanswered to begin this tournament. Neymar trying to run onto that header as an offside flag will end it. And that might well be just about the last action of this one. Brazil running rampant to begin the Copa America in their home country. Back-to-back wins, outscoring their opponent 7-0. Impressive stuff so far, and plenty for our studio crew to digest. We'll hand you back to Rob Stone as it finishes in Rio de Janeiro. Brazil 4, Peru 0.
Stu, John, thank you. So some themes developing here for Brazil. They get the halftime lead, 1-0. Things are tight. And then second half, they're able to just run away with things. They got 2 second-half goals last time out, 3 this time. It's now 6 straight shutout victories, Mo, for this Brazilian team. What's more impressive for you, their defense, the suffocating D, or what Neymar's been able to do these last 2 games?
I mean, it's hard to take away from the attack. I mean, what they do in that second half, games traditionally open up a little bit more in second half, but the way Brazil plays, having that ability to just flick that switch, up the tempo. Neymar found a lot more space in the second half. He was a lot more impactful. I mean, some of those passes that led to the last 2 goals were just top-notch and high quality, but they're just an electric side going forward, but you can't take anything away from that man and what he brought to the team. Thiago Silva shoring up that back line, and that's another clean sheet for him.
Yeah, I think it's the defense that enables them to get to the point where they can then use all the creative opportunities that they have and creative talent that they have up top. Waiting for that moment when Neymar can